World premiere.
We are the first. The first to see the gods. The first to tame their beasts. The first to guard the soul from evil. We conquered this land and built an empire. But there are whispers on the wind. A brotherhood born in the shadows.
Sheriff, if you like. And his struggle against the dark forces that corrupt ancient Egypt will lead to the foundation of the Assassin's Brotherhood. But recreating ancient Egypt, going back so far in time, pushed us to rethink and expand our gameplay mechanics. We added many RPG elements to a huge systemic world, more detailed and alive than ever before. So today, we are very proud to show you what the game looks like on Xbox One X running in 4K. And now, just for you, Bayek is coming back to Siwa, his hometown, to kill the fake oracle, Medunamun.
World premiere.
Siwa, my home, the sacred oasis.
I thought he was dead.
Our Medjay, the last protector, our prayers are answered. Siwa has not been the same since he left.
E3 2017 is the biggest video game event of the year.
Hello everyone!
The show is sold out, but don't worry, because we've got your ticket inside.
I've never seen anything like this at E3.
IGN has it all with exclusive first access. Get a front row seat for every press conference.
We're so excited.
Jump the lines and go inside the best booths.
This might be the biggest booth I've ever seen at E3.
Fully fangirling right now.
Get breaking news straight from the show floor.
Excited about our new IP.
Hear from the innovators behind the
Playing
game.
with Xbox's own Aaron Greenberg.
Crackdown 3 is coming. It's going to be great.
It's got a gleam in his eye.
We break down everything about the Xbox One's powerful next upgrade. Wow. Be the first to see all the hottest titles. IGN Live takes you inside Super Mario Odyssey and the future of Nintendo Switch, and unleashes all the games you want to see.
Battle Station!
Insomniac's long-awaited SPIDER-Man,
Now that's fun!
EA's Star Wars Battlefront 2, and Sony's bold new take on God of War. IGN has over 40 hours of live coverage.
Am I right or am I right?
And you don't want to miss a second of the action. Strap in. IGN Live at E3 starts right now.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to day 3 of IGN Live at E3. I'm Damon Hatfield, and we're coming to you from Los Angeles for another full day of coverage. In just a bit, we've got a look at the prequel, Life is Strange Before the Storm, as well as an exclusive in-depth look at Far Cry 5 with gameplay you won't find anywhere else. For today's big events, we'll have complete coverage of both the Ubisoft press conference at 1 p.m. Pacific and Sony's PlayStation conference at 6. You'll be able to catch it all everywhere IGN is available, and also on Twitter at e3.twitter.com. Tweet us at IGN with your questions about PlayStation and use the hashtag E32017. We'll answer your questions live on the air, so be creative. Now, we kicked off yesterday's E3 coverage with the Microsoft press conference, which had the official reveal of the Xbox One X and a look at over 40 games. We've condensed the whole thing into a nice 3 minutes for you. Enjoy.
We are proud to welcome Xbox One X. November 7th, Xbox One X launches worldwide.
All of your Xbox One accessories and games will work with Xbox One X.
We can't wait to bring PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds exclusively to Xbox One later this year.
With that, we're one step closer to payday.
Welcome to the agency!
Are you a beast? Are you released? You ready to feast until you a beast? Not the least. Do you think you're number one? Can you keep it 100? Are you a beast?
I'll go low. You flank. Jerry's wrap. All right, let's do this.
See you on the other side.
The time-traveling episodic adventure Life is Strange was a sleeper hit and took home so many awards, one mantle would not hold them all. Now we've got a prequel, Life is Strange Before the Storm, on the way. Here to tell us more is co-director Chris Floyd and writer Zach Garris. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks so much.
We're joined by Lucy O'Brien.
Hi, guys. Look, it's such a pleasure to have you here. First of all, Deck 9 Games. This is not Don't Nod. You guys are a brand new studio.
Right.
Tell us about how this project came to be for you.
Well, Deck 9 Games has spent the last 3 years preparing to make narrative adventure games. We brought in a team of people from film, television, and video games, and really built up a team of storytellers to make games like Life is Strange. And we developed a tool set we call StoryForge that really unchains those creative people and lets them make great stories.
So when the opportunity came to work with Square Enix on Life is Strange, we were incredibly thrilled, absolutely. Just very excited to get a chance to work in this IP.
So you set yourselves up to make a game like this, and it just sort of worked out that you were the right team for that.
I mean, we were fans of Life is Strange, of course. We wanted to play the next game. We didn't imagine we'd be making the next game. When the opportunity came our way, we couldn't have been more thrilled.
That's a really cool story.
So it's important to note that this is not Life is Strange 2.
That's right, yeah. So Don't Nod announced a little over a month ago that they're working on the sequel to Life is Strange. Square cares so much about this franchise and the community. While Don't Nod has been moving forward with the sequel, they wanted to answer the fans' request to see more about Arcadia Bay, to explore the characters in the world from the first game, and that's how they ultimately led them to us.
And of course, this is a prequel, so this takes place before the events of Life is Strange. It follows the story of Chloe at age 16, is that correct?
That's correct, yeah.
And subsequently her friendship with Rachel, who we sadly never got to meet in Life is Strange. Why was this the right story to tell?
We feel like everybody has had a time in their life when they meet one person who changes their world. And looking at the different characters, there's so many rich characters in Arcadia Bay from the first season. Chloe and the relationship we know, we've heard about with this mythic character, Rachel Amber, but we never actually get to experience as players. That seemed like a wonderful opportunity for us to tell a unique story, a story that's different from the first game. And it takes place, like you pointed out, several years before the events of the game, so it was important to us to tell a story whose ending the fans won't know.
And, Chloe does not have time travel powers like Max did in Life is Strange. I mean, that was such a big hook of the first game that you could rewind time. What's the gameplay hook this time around? I mean, what's Chloe's thing?
Well, first of all, that was a big choice we had to make early on in this project, and we considered what kinds of powers, how would the supernatural manifest in our story. And time travel just didn't make sense. That really is an embodiment of Max's character. She's timid, she's cautious. Chloe is not that. Max is gonna go back and question the decisions she makes, but Chloe is a wrecking ball. She's gonna bash through whatever gets in her way. She has attitude, she is brash, so it didn't fit. We also didn't want Arcadia Bay to feel like it was a town of superheroes. We didn't want those kinds of powers to be too prevalent. We also knew that Chloe didn't talk about any kind of power. So there isn't a power in this game. Chloe doesn't have a power. We're really focusing on what we think is actually the heart of Life is Strange, which are relatable relationships between characters you care about and how they deal with real-world problems.
Can you tell us about, Don't Nod, when Don't Nod brought this project to you, was the story already written? And you just took it from there to build the game, or how much input did you have on it?
Yeah, that's a great question. Don't Nod, they've created such an amazing world with Life is Strange. We really hold them in the highest regard and see them as the founders of the franchise. When it comes to the story, the gameplay, the full production of Before the Storm, this has been entirely Deck 9, working in partnership with the same team at Square Enix that worked on the first Life is Strange.
And tell us about Ashley Birch's involvement, because obviously she is not coming back. Well, actually, that's not obvious. A lot of people don't know that. Ashley Birch is not coming back to voice Chloe this time around. However, she is involved, from what I understand, in a writing capacity.
That's right, yeah. Ashley's just an amazing writer. She received the first script from us for the first episode, fell in love with it, and joined our team as a story consultant. So from everything from any given dialogue line you might see to the high-level break of the entire story of Before the Storm, Ashley's been involved collaborating with the writing team, giving notes, sharing her very unique and very personal perspective on what Chloe is about.
So she really knows Chloe from basically inhabiting her in the first game.
Yeah.
So she's kind of there to say to you guys, hey, listen, Chloe wouldn't say that. That sounds really wrong. Or she would say, okay, this is something that Chloe would say.
Sure, yeah.
Right. That's fantastic.
So the first series is episodic, 5 episodes. Before the Storm is also episodic?
That's right. It's going to be 3 episodes, maybe a total of about 6 to 9 hours of play. So we split up our story that way, and our first episode is going to be released on August 31st.
Yeah, it's coming pretty soon. Tell us how you feel about episodic gaming. What are the advantages there? Are there any particular challenges that you face as developers?
Yeah, from a development standpoint, it's different from working several years on a single project before fans ever get to see it or put a controller in their hands. So I think it's exciting to work on segments of content and release it and share it and see the fan response. The community supporting Life is Strange is so passionate and it's so large. We're really excited to see the response to the first episode.
Considering we know where Chloe and Rachel end up, what kind of choice and consequence system are we looking at this time around? Is it more sort of intimate, or is it going to feel as end-of-the-world apocalyptic as Life is Strange did?
That's a really good question. Obviously, choice and consequence is so important to Life is Strange, and that's absolutely the case in Before the Storm. But you're onto something. I mean, this is going to be an intimate, relatable story that we're really focusing on this relationship between the two of them, to see and let the player engage in how does that relationship blossom over the first few days after they meet each other.
I think we are seeing some of the first gameplay footage here on the screen. From a gameplay perspective, is it going to feel very familiar to people who played the first Life is Strange? Does it play the same way?
Yeah, we think the foundations of the gameplay and the storytelling of Life is Strange, that's something we held really sacred, and we wanted to make sure this felt to everyone, to all the fans, just like Life is Strange, just visiting new places and meeting new characters along the way.
Sacred's the right word to use. I mean, we are very much fans first. We loved the first game, getting to work in Before the Storm. We wanted to both pay homage and explore areas that will be familiar to fans from the first game and introduce entirely new spaces like the one we're looking at right now. This is a place called The Mill. It's on the outskirts of Arcadia Bay. It's where Chloe at 16 is at an illegal concert.
That is very her.
Yeah.
What kind of character is Chloe in this game? Because obviously she's very foolhardy. As you said, she's something of a wrecking ball. I can't even imagine what she is going to be like as a younger teen.
Yeah. So she, like Chris said, is a wrecking ball. She's very courageous. I think it's important to point out, though, that she is not the Chloe we know from the first game. There's a journey that she's going to go on that our game participates in the intervening time.
You're going to see her turn into that blue-haired, beanie-wearing Chloe that everybody knows.
Yeah, but at the start of our game, what she's dealing with, it's 2 years after her father's died. Max has left. She's all alone. Emotionally and I think psychologically, she's in a very different place from the Chloe we know from the first game.
We were talking about choice and consequences earlier. There's a moment here about to come up that's going to be one of our key decisions, where the story can really branch. She's gotten herself in a little bit of trouble here with some overgrown bullies, basically, who want to make a deal out of her bumping into them earlier. So she's going to have to choose how she wants to deal with this situation. Should she fight or should she run? And that's going to have consequences not just in this scene, but later.
Tell us a little bit about the new storytelling program that, see, here we go. That's exactly what you're
So here's a key choice that you...
Tell us a little bit about the new storytelling program that you guys have worked on to make this possible, in terms of the narrative branching that you have in this prequel.
Yeah.
Well, it starts with a tool we call Playwright, and that's basically like writing a screenplay, except that our writers can put in the gameplay, put in the branches, the consequences, the checks of what did you do last time to make a non-linear story. Then we take that and we port it over into a tool called Storyteller. And that creates essentially like a giant timeline. And we bring in the characters we need, we apply animations to them, and then we go in and we do the facial performance. We literally have sliders. We can turn up the sadness and turn down the surprise or blend them in whatever way we want to create the emotional performances that we need to get across this story.
This is a technical tool set that our team's been developing for over 3 years.
That's amazing.
There's really nothing else like it inside the industry.
Yeah.
So here, after this key choice, did Chloe choose to fight?
I believe in this
she chose to run. She ran.
She ran there, okay.
And she flipped the bird, which is very Chloe.
Of course.
But I imagine those key choices, there isn't a wrong answer.
That's right, yeah. So, and we see that as a component of Life is Strange. The game, the first season really embraced it, and we did too. You're going to choose how you want to embrace this adventure and how you want to navigate the challenges that you're going to. There isn't a right or a wrong. Different choices you have will have different consequences. You're going to develop potentially a very different relationship with Rachel Amber than someone else.
So where are we here in this scene?
So we've jumped ahead a little bit. This is a place called the Overlook. After the night at the mill, the girls meet up at school the next day. They decide to ditch school. So they've now come out here to this park. Rachel's kind of on a mission, but they're going to have fun.
Yeah.
And all this footage is from episode 1 that's out in August?
That's right. All of this is from episode 1.
I see.
And, we're talking about her relationship with Rachel, and you said that people might have different kinds of relationships, just as Chloe did with Max in the original Life is Strange. I mean, one of the biggest... You guys know what I'm going to ask. I can see on your faces. One of the biggest draw cards of Life is Strange is the shipping and the romance. Is that going to be something that is prevalent in this prequel?
Let's actually hold that thought. We got to take a quick break. We'll answer it soon after, right after this commercial break. We'll have more Life is Strange Before the Storm right after this. IGN is the world's #1 media brand for video games and entertainment. From breaking news and brand new trailers to reviews, let's plays, and the latest tips and tricks, IGN brings you the videos you crave everywhere you watch. Whether you're on the IGN app, PlayStation, Xbox, YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat, or IGN.com, IGN's got you covered on everything you care about. IGN, the #1 source for video game fans worldwide.
The biggest entertainment event of the year is almost here, and we've got your all-access pass. IGN live from San Diego Comic-Con. World premiere trailers and breaking news as it happens. The biggest stars and the world's best cosplay. IGN live from Comic-Con. Coverage starts July 19.
2 friends, 1 controller. IGN's Link Together turns Zelda Breath of the Wild into a co-op experience where Link is controlled by 2 players via splitting the Joy-Cons. Hyrule becomes a much more dangerous place, and friendships teeter on the edge. Check out Link Together Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific.
Did you know that IGN has an app that gives you all the tools you love right in the palm of your hands? It's fast, and you can save videos and articles for later, check your personalized feed, or check out all the latest reviews. Download it now on the iOS or Android App Store.
Welcome back to IGN Live at E3. Our Ubisoft pre-show kicks off soon, but right now we are continuing our look at Life is Strange Before the Storm with Zach and Chris, and we were just about to ship some characters, I think.
Yeah, well, I'll just reiterate that a lot of the reason fans were very drawn to the original Life is Strange, among a plethora of reasons, is that, there was a romance aspect, a lot of characters were shipped together. Sure. Is that going to return in this prequel?
Yeah, so I think like you say, I think the first game was so successful at building realistic characters who are complex, who are rich, and who could develop relationships with each other that felt meaningful, that felt real. And we've embraced that very much with Before the Storm. It's important to us not to be prescriptive with the player about how they choose to relate to the characters in the world, but rather to create a vibrant collection of characters that they'll have strong feelings about one way or another, and then the freedom to explore expressing those feelings and navigating what those relationships might be.
Well, especially considering Chloe's relationship with Rachel was actually fairly ambiguous in Life is Strange. There were moments where I was like, I'm not quite sure how close they were. They seemed to be, at one point I thought they had a romantic relationship. At another point I was like, no, they were just really close friends. So obviously there are a lot of options for you guys to explore.
That ambiguity gave us a lot of opportunities, like you're saying, to create the story we wanted to tell something that maybe players aren't expecting, and also leave, as Zach was saying, some of that open to see how they want to develop that relationship with Rachel.
You mentioned earlier that Max, lead character from the first game, she's out of the picture here, at least at the beginning. Well, does she participate at all in the prequel?
Yeah, Max's absence is an important element to Chloe's life at this time, but she does have a presence. Where Max had a diary in the first game where she would talk about everything that happened moment to moment while you were playing, Chloe actually writes letters to Max that she never sends.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Max does appear in your prequel, as I understand it, as like a bonus chapter. Is that right?
Oh, right.
Right, so there's an additional episode, part of the deluxe edition of the game.
Right.
That the farewell episode that's being created when we're finished making Before the Storm itself, 3 episodes, complete story. We're going to add on to that for the fans who really want to play Max one more time, a special farewell episode. We'll talk more about that in the future.
Fantastic. And tell us a little bit more about, what we're looking at here. Arcadia Bay, we are returning to Arcadia Bay. Are we going to see any familiar faces? Obviously, this is set a lot earlier, but Arcadia Bay really felt like a lived-in, it had a sort of Twin Peaks-esque vibe to it. There were some characters that really stood out for me that I'd like to see again. Are we going to have some returning faces?
Absolutely, yeah. Being a part of Chloe's world means you're going to see Blackwell, you're going to see Joyce, you're going to see David, you're going to see a lot of other characters that you'll know from the first game. And then entering into Rachel's world, we're also going to see a variety of new characters that we've created just for Before the Storm.
Right, so are we getting are we going to be able to play as Rachel at any point, or is it just very much Chloe's?
It's really from Chloe's perspective. It's telling her story. We're looking here at a scene, a familiar location, the junkyard. It eventually becomes Chloe and Rachel's hangout. But here we're going to have a dramatic moment we'd really like to share with the players.
Okay, let's turn it up.
I'm not moody. I just need some space. Is that all right with you? Okay. Actually, no. I thought we were having a great day together. Why are you acting like this all of a sudden? I'm not acting like anything. I just want to be left alone right now. No, I don't understand. You can't just turn on me for no reason. I'm sorry, turn on you? I guess I forgot. It's always about how you feel, isn't it? Sad Chloe's fucking sad again. Maybe you should try giving a shit about other people for once. Are you serious right now? Fuck! Okay, I still have no idea what's going on with Rachel, but apparently she gets smashy when she's angry. I can work with that. Score. Here, if you really want to smash something, this should do the trick. I asked you to leave me alone. Are you kidding me? I know you're the school princess and all, with the DA daddy and the perfect grades and all the perfect little Victoria chases kissing your perfect ass, but seriously? Fuck you. Great. I'm leaving. See you around, Chloe. You can't leave! Watch me. Rachel, wait! Don't go. Why not? Because I don't want to ruin this the way I ruin everything else in my life. And what is this exactly? A real friendship. I thought Chloe Price doesn't need friends. I thought so too before today. I guess it's easier to be alone if you decide it's a choice. I'm sorry for whatever I did or didn't do. Today was the best day I've had since my dad died. And I screwed it up somehow. Like I screw everything up, because I'm a fucking screw up. Chloe, please. I don't want to be alone anymore.